Today on Marketing Update, can a fever lead to Twitter Tourette's? Twitter, let's see, terrific Twitter tongue twisters. That's another one. And of course, checking in on Foursquare. All these stories and more coming to you live on Marketing Update.
Welcome to the Marketing Update, your source for what's hot and what's not in the world of marketing. I'm Ellie Mirman.
And I am Andrew Quinn, and we are coming to you live from Cambridge, Massachusetts. What a handsome audience we've got today.
Yes, I actually wanted to take a moment to take them all in.
Absolutely.
that was great, guys.
It's fantastic.
All right, the usual business. Hashtag is MKTG up. So tweet at us, and we'll include some of your tweets in the show.
Tweet early, tweet often.
Yes. And we love to have this live studio audience, so come on by every Friday at 4. We would love to have you. And then, of course, catch all the old episodes on iTunes. We love 5-star reviews because it makes us feel good. All right. Ready, Andrew?
I'm ready, Ellie. Let's get down to business. Marketing business.
All right, our first story. Bieber fever strikes again.
That's right. I woke up this morning and I had the fever for a Bieber. That's disturbing, isn't it?
It is a little disturbing.
Well, his hair is fantastic.
You can't resist.
I have hair envy of Justin Bieber.
Aww.
The reason this story is exciting, our own Matt Stein actually brought this to our attention. Very excited when I read it. So you say to yourself, Justin Bieber, this has to be another story about all his fantastic followers. He's got something like 23, 30, 50 million followers.
Ridiculous
Some
number.
extraordinary amount. But it's actually not about that. What it's about is Justin Bieber and Sweden.
An interesting combination.
It is an interesting combination. One would wonder, what might Sweden have as an interest in Justin Bieber? Well, it's a rather odd situation. Sweden has a national Twitter account.
Which is quite impressive, I have to say.
It is impressive.
They got Sweden, like at Sweden.
It is at Sweden, and
Yes.
it is run by the Swedish Tourism Bureau.
Makes sense.
But what's really kind of quirky about the Swedes is they decided that every week a different Swedish citizen will be responsible for tweeting on that account.
It's
So
a
there
very
are
creative approach to Twitter.
very creative and also a little bit dangerous.
It's true.
So 52 different Swedish citizens get to tweet in a given year on behalf of the country. So this week, there's a woman. Her name is Sonjah Abrahamsson. And she's from Latikberg, Sweden. And she turns out to be a foul-mouthed single mother of 2. And she apparently is tweeting all kinds of really rude and racist things.
Like really racist.
Yeah,
We're
like,
reading this and wondering, oh no, we cannot talk
I
about
can't
that.
say nearly any of it except for the fact that she does not like Justin Bieber.
On top of everything else, she doesn't like Justin
and
Bieber.
she said it quite clearly in language that I just can't repeat. But what's interesting too is that the Swedes have basically said, we're not going to censor her.
Yeah.
We're not telling her to back off. We're not telling her to change what she's doing. They want to keep it real, Swedish style.
Letting the citizens speak for themselves. If she's representative of at least 1/52nd, I don't know, of those.
Something, some
residents.
percentage of the Swedish population. Of course, she says that in her town, everyone in that town is all relatives and they all own tractors.
See,
So
I don't know if that's like, is she saying that in a loving way? Is she happy about that, or is she trying to dig at her neighbors?
I'm thinking there's a little bit of a dig there.
Yeah, okay.
But again, we're going to let that lie for a moment and talk about the real key here, which is the fact that that Twitter account now, I think it was Wednesday of this week, had 44,000 people following it, and they're gaining 1,000 followers an hour as a result of her tweeting. So the takeaway here is the fact that don't be afraid of a little controversy, right? We've said that before. If you stir up a little controversy, you'll get people to pay attention. Now, you may not want to hire some sort of foul-mouthed single mother to tweet for your business, but with that said, it's not that bad to stir things up a little bit and try to get a little action. You'll get some interest that way.
Be interesting to see what would happen if we let a single mother foul mouth.
Or just anybody who's
Bieber
got sort of
not
an
fan.
odd Bieber-hating approach to tweet on our behalf. We
Yes.
might do something from an inbound marketing perspective.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Bieber takeaways for
Right.
marketing.
In
Yeah.
other international inbound marketing news, do you believe everything you read on the internet? I ask you, audience, do you believe everything you read on the internet? Yeah. Of course you do, right? So WebReap ran a survey, 36,000 people across 7 countries, all the usual suspects, the United States, France, China, Germany, who else we have, Russia and Australia, and they asked them a series of questions, not too many. One of those questions was, do you believe what you read on the internet? And one of those countries was clearly the most skeptical.
Okay.
Take a stab at who you think the most skeptical country is.
I don't know. I would guess maybe the U.S. would be pretty skeptical.
Not
we
even
understand
close.
how the internet works.
Think about precision.
Precision. Well, who was it?
What did I hear? Yes, the Germans, of course. The Germans clearly are the most skeptical when it comes to what they read on the internet. On the flip side, who's the most gullible or believable? It's the French.
They believe everything.
They apparently believe everything they read on the internet.
Some interesting takeaways for our international marketing team.
Yes,
I have to say.
which is essentially, if you're going to market with a little bit of, shall we say, puffery, I direct that at the French, because they're going to buy it. They're going to believe it.
Real marketing takeaways on the marketing update this
Absolutely.
week.
What do you have, Ellie? I know you've got a story or two for us.
Now talking a little bit more about an interesting inbound marketing campaign, this time from an advertising company. This was an article on Marketing Program, which I have to say started off with some scary stats about mobile. So first off, 19% of kids aged 2 to 5 know how to play with a smartphone, but only 9% know how to tie their shoes.
That is scary.
That's a little disturbing.
Now, is it the children are just that good with technology, or the parents aren't taking the time to teach them how to tie their shoes?
I gotta say, it's the parents are just sticking them with a smartphone to entertain them, and the products are that good. Like, it's that easy to figure out.
It's that easy to figure out.
So
Maybe
scary.
we need the technological wizards to solve the shoe tying problem.
Maybe that's what it is. We need Steve Jobs.
Oh wait, we had
If
Velcro
only he
shoes,
had had
but
a
those are
chance.
just not attractive.
And then the other weird, crazy stat was in India, more people have mobile phones than toilets. It's a little scary. Yeah. Mobile is everywhere, which leads into the actual story.
Don't sell toilet paper in India. You're not going to make money.
No, but mobile apps might do really well.
Think about it.
Yeah. Well, so the Interactive Advertising Bureau has a new mobile marketing campaign. So it's a tool called Tap Into Mobile, or a project called Tap Into Mobile. Nice little play on words there. And the idea is that you can put in a website URL, answer a couple of questions about your site, and then get to see how it displays on a smartphone.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it asks you about your goals, what you're trying to achieve, and then it tells you how you're doing in terms of your navigation and how fast your website loads, things that are obviously really relevant for a mobile
That
site.
sounds eerily similar to a certain grader that people would use to grade their marketing.
Yes,
They can
so
grade their
nice
mobile
little
apps.
diagnostic tool.
Yes.
So the interactive IAB is using this as a diagnostic tool, pull people in, and then of course they have designers who can help you fix whatever's wrong with your site.
Of course they do.
So very clever, nice little inbound
Sounds awfully
campaign.
inboundy, yes, indeed.
Yes. So that's actually the marketing takeaway. Not only is this actually a really interesting tool for checking out the mobile performance of your site, but think about ways that you can pull people in, help diagnose a problem, and then position yourself at the right time to your services that might help them out with that.
So speaking of the efficiency of your mobile devices, do people actually like to shop on mobile devices? Like when you're shopping, what are the ways you prefer to shop? So Nielsen, the company that does all those different types of advertising ratings and whatnot, recently did an interesting study on people's shopping behaviors and where do they actually prefer to shop. Because there's really 3 main ways you can do it now, right? I can actually physically go to a store and buy things. I can use my PC, my laptop, my Mac, whatever, or I can use my mobile device. And they found some interesting stuff. They had 5 key areas they measured. Was most reliable, so when I'm going to go do this purchase, what's the most reliable place to do it? Overall favorite way to shop, easiest, most convenient, as well as safest. What's interesting is mobile actually beat in-store for both easiest and most convenient, but PC won hands down for those two, as well as the overall favorite. So in many ways, e-commerce has actually risen above now and become the most sort of popular way to shop. The only two areas where it's still a little bit low are around sort of safety and reliability.
Okay.
So
People are still nervous about technology.
Yeah.
And
Am I going to get the product that I bought? Like, I know if I walk into a store and it's there and I buy it, I have it.
Right. You can see it.
And also that notion that if I put my credit card into that, you know, evil internet's box, something weird's going to happen.
I don't know where that's going when I click send.
But arguably, I can hand it over to a clerk at a restaurant or a store, and they can swipe my number at the store anyway.
People milling around, watching for
of course.
Little opportunities.
So don't worry about it. Shop online. It's awesome. Is there a marketing takeaway for this? Sorry, I could not come up with one. I thought about it, but I'm like, thought it was a cool story. I'm the co-host, so
yeah. Our show, we can do what we want. People shopping in different ways. Do what you will.
It was part of the Bieber fever. It just it took over. I didn't know what to do, and I liked it.
So we have some great tweets coming in. So our artillery market is saying, if Sweden wants controversy, let ABBA do the tweeting. I like that idea.
Yes, or Ace of Base.
Oh, that actually, that would be fantastic.
It would be fantastic.
I would absolutely follow Sweden if they let them. And Tina Bradford PR. We do need to have like a rock show on, an episode of Marketing Update. So Tina Bradford PR is saying, or how about you believe everything you read on social media? That would be an interesting question.
It would be.
Yeah. But I think with social media, people understand that it could be someone random talking.
I'm not sure the French do.
That's right. I wonder how many of the French are on social media and believing what they read.
I'm going to have to find that out.
That's going to be our next study.
I sniff a study.
Danzarella, get on it. All right. Speaking of Twitter, once again, so many terrific Twitter updates that we had to do a quick hit list. Right, a lot of changes coming to Twitter in the last week. We're going to try to run through them all just so you are, in the know of all the things going on. So first of all, tailored trends. So this is customized tailored tweets or trending topics. So you probably have seen all the trending hashtags, trending topics. Now, Twitter is going to start, I can't even say it already. Twitter is going to start.
It is a tongue twister.
It's a very tongue-twisting topic.
Tongue-twisting Twitter-rific updates.
Exactly, exactly. So now they're going to start customizing the trending hashtags to you based on your location and your interests and your followers. So hopefully you're going to start to get even more customized content, maybe start to catch on to trends specifically in your industry and help you jump on things sooner. Might be some cool stuff there.
What do they call that?
Tailored trends. Newsjacking, that's what you mean.
That's what it is. Newsjacking. I just...
Get on that.
Don't jack my news.
It's going to happen now.
It is.
Just because of Twitter. The other piece, hashtag pages. So this is for specific branded pages that are really around curating content around a hashtag. So Twitter's launching this first with NASCAR, I believe. So it's,
Doesn't everything start with NASCAR?
Probably. Yeah.
It's all about racing, I think.
Yes. There's a lot of ways that these new updates are leveraging all the races going on.
Interesting.
Yeah. So a whole customized page, you can see the top users, the top content, very much curated. You don't have to go sift through the noise of a search page. They're only slowly rolling it out to certain brands and certain hashtags. I tried it with Marketing Update and it didn't work. It was pretty sad.
Didn't work?
Yeah. We got to be next on that list.
Okay.
Yeah. And then expanded tweets. So this is, if you're posting content from specific partner sites, you'll be able to get more of a preview of content right on Twitter.
This is cool.
Yeah, so you'll be able to see photos and watch videos and even get a little preview of content.
That's where you don't have to actually click through. You can just, it expands, does one of those little
Yep, which is particularly good if you're on mobile.
Right.
You don't have to click through, wait for another page to load, things like that.
I always find that highly irritating.
Yeah. So lots of cool Twitter stuff and an update from Facebook. Facebook is now going to start letting advertisers target ads on Facebook based on browsing history outside of Facebook.
This creeps me out more than Justin Bieber does.
Yeah, this is like bringing the creep factor back to Facebook.
Right.
As if stalking your friends and family wasn't enough. So this is going to...
So how does this work exactly?
So now they'll be able to see, so say, for example, if you go to Google and search for SUVs and then you visit Facebook, you could have an advertiser customizing ads to just show you stuff about SUVs.
So what you're saying is my friends can really get an inkling from my browsing habits?
You don't want that.
Ooh,
That's
no.
why you have to really block your computer screen if you're at work browsing
Clearly.
Facebook.
Clearly.
I already had to turn off ads in my Gmail because I was too creeped out by the targeted ads. It's like, oh no, it knows too much about me.
What kind of medication ads were you getting?
I can't share that on the show.
Of course not.
But things creepy enough for me to turn it off. Anyway, so the marketing takeaway is social media is constantly changing, all in an effort to better engage users. So start to think about ways that you can engage with your users for longer outside of your site. It's not just about posting links to get people to click back. It's about interacting with them on the site themselves, because that's what the social networks want.
And speaking of social networks, let's check in with one that we haven't heard from in a while.
It has been a while
It
since
has
we talked
been.
about Foursquare.
Foursquare, quite some time. Foursquare, all the rage 18 months to 2 years ago, is definitely slacked off a bit, let's say.
Everyone was talking about it. You'd go to an event and talk about something vaguely related to marketing, and people from the audience would ask, so how is Foursquare going to transform everything I'm doing?
And it really hasn't.
Yeah.
So like a tarnished celebrity, Foursquare is trying to reinvent itself. Kind of like a Courtney Love, if you will.
I think that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Very to the point.
So what they've attempted to do here is less focus on the social gaming aspect, right? Getting your mayorships, your badges, all those kinds of things. And they've refocused it more as a discovery engine. So there's a new element in the app where, based on where I am and based on the behaviors that I've exhibited and places I've checked into, et cetera, it's going to recommend to me places that I might be interested in based on what I've done as well as what my network has done.
Okay.
So it's a little less about I'm going here, checking in, letting everybody in my network know that here's where I am, but more, since I'm in this location, are there other things around me that I might not be aware of that would be of real interest?
So it's like if you're in a new city, you might be, hey, I don't know what to do here. You could open up Foursquare and get some ideas.
Or even in a new neighborhood in the city that you're in.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, we're just at this restaurant, now we want to go next.
But I think a key takeaway to this one is the fact that Foursquare really paid close attention to the way that its customers were reacting to its market proposition. And they really made a pretty dramatic shift to what they're attempting to do, rather than saying, hey, listen, this is what we're all about, this is what our market prop is, we're a game, we want you guys to check in, we want to do this. They realized that the dynamic was shifting, and they ended up reinventing their business to try and make that happen. So you need to ask yourself, am I getting customers coming to me and lining up in the way that I want them to? And if they're not, am I realigning my business to square with what my customers really want to do in the marketing that I'm doing or in the business that I'm in?
Square with it.
So,
very nice.
Yeah. Like that? I'm glad you caught that, Ellie. Yeah. I did that without even looking down. Without even looking down, I made that happen.
Very nice.
So,
well,
don't be afraid of change.
That leads right into our marketing tip of the week
as
well, which is don't be afraid of change. If you're finding that your users need something else, just figure out how you can adapt to that so that you're actually serving a real user need.
I'm not afraid of change.
No, we definitely are not afraid of change at HubSpot. We're constantly changing.
I change my outfits at least 3 times a day.
Oh, yeah. You got like a stash, you got a closet.
I do.
Here? That's good.
Got to look good.
Always prepared.
Always prepared.
Special
I'm not changing my hairstyle, though.
Oh.
It's kind of tough to do that.
That's too bad. You do have a cool hairstyle coming up in a cool video.
Indeed, I do.
Not to give too much away.
No. It's very exciting. We'll talk about that in a moment, won't
yes.
we?
Yes, so that does bring us to the end of the show and the end of the week. How was your week, Andrew?
My week was pretty cool. Did something very interesting. I actually spent some quality time with our marketing update producer, David Guerrera, and we shot a promotional video for Inbound 2012. And in that video, I got to wear a wig. So I actually had hair for a brief moment, and I must say, it was odd.
Unsettling, perhaps?
Exactly. And just like Willow Smith, I did whip it back and forth. I whipped my hair around. You know, it was pretty cool.
I can't wait
to see the video. But it was odd. Once I took it off, I felt like it was still there. It was kind of odd.
Oh, phantom hair.
Indeed.
How
about you?
So I also got to spend a brief moment in one of the videos as well, which we really don't do enough. It's so much fun here.
It is fun.
It's kind of ridiculous. I was just an extra, but it's so hilarious that, you were taking a dozen takes just because we laugh through half of them because they're just so ridiculous.
Were you frustrating the director?
I think so, but I had fun.
That's all that really counts.
Yep. But yeah, it's a good week.
Good week indeed.
Can't wait to see the videos.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Well.
On that note, have a great week, everybody.